Welcome to my channel, and here I'll be showing you how to construct an inferior trochoid. So I've done that of the superior trochoid. Now I want to show you how you can construct an inferior trochoid. So in this case we need a rolling circle, and I'll be taking the diameter of the rolling circle as 70 millimeters. So, and why the circle upon which the point whose locus is to be produced, I will be using a diameter of 50 millimeters for that. But just pay attention to how I'm going to do it. So the first thing that I'm going to do is to draw the rolling circle, whose diameter, as I said, is 70 millimeters. It means the radius is 35 millimeters. So I will first of all draw a horizontal center line like this. Alright, so that's the horizontal center line. Then I will draw a vertical center line. A vertical center line like this. Alright, so I first of all construct the rolling circle. So for the rolling circle, as I said, the diameter is 70 millimeters, the radius is 35 millimeters. So this is 35 millimeters. So I will draw that circle and make it more visible. Okay, so this is the rolling circle now. So the second circle that we are going to construct, its diameter is 50 millimeters, and that is the circle upon which the point that we are going to draw its locus is located. So diameter is 50 millimeters, radius is 25. I will take a measurement of 25 millimeters like this. So this is 25 millimeters. I'll put it here. Then I will draw the circle and make it looks a little bit faint. So make it look a little bit faint. So it's okay like this. So the next thing that I'm going to do is to divide these circles into 12 equal parts. So I'll divide the circle into 12 equal parts, as you can see it here. So with my set square, I'm doing that. Okay. Alright, so the last one is this. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is to label the point on the small circle. I'm going to I will number the point on the small circle. So this point is 0. So this point is 0.1, this is 0.2, this is 0.3, this is 0.4, this is 0.5, this is 0.6, 0.7, 0.8, 0.9, 0.10, and 11. Okay, so now the next thing that I'm going to do is to draw a line from this point on the small circle. So I'm not going to draw it on the big circle. So I only need it on the small circle. I will draw a horizontal line from this point on the small circle like this. Then from point 1 and 11, I will draw a horizontal line on the small circle. Then from point 3, 2 and 10 on the small circle, so I will draw a horizontal line like this. Also from point, I've done that of 3 and 9, so from point 4 and 8, I will draw a horizontal line on the small circle like this. Then from point 5 and 7 on the small circle, I will also draw a horizontal line like this. From point 6 on the small circle, I will draw a horizontal line. So don't forget that we are going to construct an inferior trochoid. So now the next that we are going to do now is to calculate the circumference of the rolling circle. The rolling circle is the big circle. So while the small circle is the circle upon which the point whose locus is to be generated is located. So in this case now, if we are to draw an inferior trochoid, we make use of the circumference of the big circle. Okay, so I will calculate the circumference of the big circle. That is 3.142 times 70 millimeters. So let me do that. Okay, so with my calculator, so I have 70 times 3.142, which is the value of pi, and that give me 219 millimeters. So that 219 millimeters, I'm going to measure it on this horizontal line that we drew out of the small out of point 0. So 2.19, that is 219 millimeters. So 219 millimeters, this is 200. So 219 millimeters is here. So I have it at this point. Okay, so that's 219 millimeters. So this 219 millimeters line, I'm going to make it a thick line. I'm going to make it a thick line. So don't forget that this 290 millimeters is circumference of the rolling circle, which is the big circle. So I'll make it a thick line like this. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do is to divide this line into 12 equal parts. So I will call this point, I will call it point 0. So I'm going to divide this line to 12 equal parts. I'll pause the video, do that, and come back and show you next thing to do. Alright, I've divided the line into 12 equal parts, as you can see, and I've numbered it 1 to 12. So the next thing that I'm going to do is to draw vertical line on each of the points. So draw a vertical line on each of the points, as I'm going to do it here. So I will draw a vertical line at this point. Okay, so at this point I will draw a vertical line. So at this point here I will draw a vertical line. So at this point I will also draw a vertical line at this point. So at this point also I will draw a vertical line. So at this point, draw a vertical line. Here also I will draw a vertical line. Okay, so going like this, draw a vertical line. At this point I will draw a vertical line. So at this point I will draw a vertical line. Then at this point I will draw a vertical line. The last point here I will draw a vertical line. Okay, so the next thing that we are going to do is that, so we are going to number with this center, horizontal center line, where this vertical line intersect the horizontal line. We are going to number it. Starting from here, I will call this one point C0, this is point C1, this is C2, this is center C3, this is center C4, so this is center C5, center C6, center C7, center C8, and this is center C9, center C10, center C11, and this is C0. Okay, so the next thing that we are going to do now is to take the radius of the small circle upon which the point whose locus is to be produced is located. So that same radius is 25, as you have it. So I put a center 1 here and make an arc on line 1. So this is line 1 here. Okay, so this is line 1. Then I put a center 2 and make an arc on line 2, as you can see here. Then I'll put a center 3, make an arc on line 3, as you can see it here. Put it as center 4 here. Okay, so I'll make an arc on line 4. I'll put a center 5, I'll make an arc on line 5 here. Then if I put a center 6, so it will touch this point on line 6. Then if I put a center 7, center 7 here. Okay, so I make an arc on line 7, as you can see it here. If I put a center 8, I make an arc on line 8 on this side. So put a center 9, I make an arc on line 9. Then at 10, so I make an arc on line 10. Then at 11, I make an arc on line 11. So then we are connecting it together with this point 0 here. Okay, so starting from this point 0. So I need to dot this point. So the point that we have on the lines. So we have this point. We have this point. We have this point. So this point. So this point here. We have this point. This point. This point here. This point. On this point, then we are connecting with 0. So we are going to join this point together with the use of a French curve. We are going to see how I'm going to do it. Okay, so we start like this. So we are connecting these 3 points together. Connecting these 3 points together. So we need to adjust our French curve for us to make sure we have a smooth curve. Okay, so it's very important that you look at how the point goes, how the points go before you begin to draw. Okay. So I need to take it easy. Okay. Then coming to this point, so I'll join this together like this. Then I need to turn to this side. Then alright, so this curve that you see here is an inferior trochoid. So very important for me to recap what we have done. So do not forget that the circumference that we are going to use is circumference of the rolling circle. So the rolling circle is the big circle, and this small circle is the circle upon which the point whose locus is to be produced, as we have done it here, is located. So this is an inferior trochoid. As simple as I've shown it here. All you need to do is to practice. When you practice it, you become a master at it. Thank you, and keep on practicing. God bless you.